This book is cool. I probably will get the other Fiona books. Fiona helps a friend. It was another warm day at the zoo. As Fiona wandered around saying hello to her animal friends, she wondered, why is the zoo so quiet today? Good night, Laurie. Grunt, grunt, tweet. Growl. Coo, coo, chirp, chirp. There were the usual grunts and growls, chirps and chatter, but something was missing. Suddenly, Fiona realized she hasn't heard Matilda, the kookaburra's laugh all day. Fiona asked her friend Giraffe, have you heard Matilda today? No, I haven't, he said, but I did hear she's been feeling a little blue. Good night, Rosalind. We need to go over and cheer her up. Come on, everyone. Fiona let out a snort, wiggled her ears, and said, we got this. Fiona and her friends marched over to the birdhouse to see Matilda. Hi, Matilda. We missed you today, Fiona said, as her friends jumped in, trying to make the kookaburra laugh. Matilda, watch this, called Monkey as he swung on a high branch, doing flips and making funny faces. You know, it's funny. If anybody who's friends with me on Facebook, I posted a couple of videos. One of them was a kookaburra in the house making all this noise. Look over here, the animals called to Matilda as they all did their best, funniest moves to try and make the kookaburra laugh. Look at all the things that they're trying to do to make that birdie laugh. They even made their silliest faces. But Matilda didn't even crack a smile. Thank you for coming to visit, she said. Then Matilda politely excused herself and hopped back inside her house. Elephant let out a sigh and said, I think Matilda has lost her laugh. Then we're going to have to help her find it, shouted the spunky little hippo. Fiona and her friends searched the zoo high and low, looking for just the right thing to make Matilda laugh. Just as the animals were about to give up, a golf cart came zooming around the corner. As it flew past, it hit a bump and a big brown box bounced off the back and landed on the path. Fiona wandered over to get a closer look. What's a lost and found? She asked. Sometimes people lose things, explained Elephant. When the zookeepers find these lost things, they put them in a box to keep them safe. Then people can come back and get them. Fiona had a thought. Maybe Matilda's laugh was in the lost and found. Everyone agreed that it was a perfect place to look. Wow, look at all this fun stuff, cried Fiona as she put on a funny-looking hat. Howdy, partner. Cheetah tried to run in a pair of sneakers. Zoom, zoom. Ostrich found bright red sunglasses. I'm a movie star. As they went through the box, the animals giggled and gasped, trying things on. They never had a dress-up party before. As the friends laughed at one another and showed off their costumes, Fiona suddenly realized they had forgotten all about Matilda. They were so busy having fun themselves, they forgot to look for the kookaburra's laugh. Just then, a big smile came over Fiona's face. The little hippo let out a snort, wiggled her ears, and said, "I've got this. I think this is going to help Matilda find her laugh." Oh, I didn't show you the picture. So that's the picture. Fiona and her animal dress-up party made their way back to Matilda. "Come out, Matilda. We have something for you." Matilda came out to see. Fiona slid a huge bow tie and a pair of silly glasses onto the sad bird. Monkey held up a little mirror so that Matilda could see. Then everyone heard it. It started as a quiet chuckle. Then the sound got louder and louder until squawk, screech, howl. It turned into the biggest belly laugh the animals had ever heard. Matilda's laugh rang through the air. The animals in the zoo roared, howled, screeched, and squawked in celebration. And it was music to Fiona's ears. Later that night, as Fiona snuggled up for bed, she told Mama all about her day. How she and her friends helped Matilda find her laugh. Mama smiled sweetly at her little hippo. You are a good friend, Fiona. Now why don't we all try to quiet down and go to sleep?" And Fiona did. I think the drawings in this book are very, very good. So that is the end of Fiona Helps a Friend. Excuse me. And so we are going to go into another book. Can I be your dog? Thank you, Tina. Dear people at Yellow House. Woof! Can I be your dog? I am potty trained, and I have my own squeaky bone. Also, I love to play. I see you have a cat, but I'm willing to work with you. Who's a good dog? I am. Sincerely, Arfie. P.S. I know every house on Butternut Street, but I asked you first. Thank you, everybody. You know, when I tell people that I'm allergic to cats, people kind of laugh because I got 6 cats at home and I come here. But, you know, that's what medicine is for, you know. I take Zyrtec every night before I go to bed. So, and that helps me keep everything in control, you know. Dear Arfie, we are so sorry, but you cannot be our dog. Our cat is allergic to dogs. Good luck in your search. Signed, the Honeywells. I think they're lying, the Honeywells. I think they're liars. Dear Butcher Lady, can I be your dog? I think your butcher shop would be a great place for a puppy like me. I could keep the floor nice and cleaned. Signed, Arfie. Look, pal, I got a bone to pick with you. Last time I let a dog into my shop, a dozen meatballs went missing. Sorry, but there's no way I'm taking in a pooch. Veronica Shank, Butcher. P.S. No hard feelings. Enjoy these dried giblets, and good luck finding a home. Oh, you see a dog living in a box. Oh, but he's eating the giblets, I guess. Yes, this is a cute book. Dear Fire Station Number 5, can I be your dog? I could play fetch. I could fetch your boots. Plus, let's just say I know my way around the fire hydrant. I've sniffed out every single one on Butternut Street, and yours is the shiniest. Signed, Arfie. Hi, Norma. Butternut Street Fire Station. Dear applicant, thank you for your interest in working with the Butternut Street Fire Station. Unfortunately, the position of fire dog has already been filled. We will keep your letter on file. Best wishes in your search. Station number 5. And here's the kicker. It's actually a rejection letter. You know how the rejection letters, they're not, they're not real personalized. And then look what Arfie is doing to the letter. I would do that to the letter too. A cute kids book called Henry the Impatient Heron. I'm gonna check. Let me check Amazon right now for that. Henry, the Impatient. Oh, there it is. Comes up in my. Oh, there's even a Chinese edition. I wonder why it's so expensive. They want $45 for it. But the Chinese edition's only $11.95. There's also Henry the Heron heading south. Have you heard of that blue heron? Now that's a lot more real. That's only like $9. So let's order that. And we will order this for a future story time. Place my order. With tax and all that, it comes from $9.59. We are in Defiance, Ohio, UPSC. All right, hello, Michigan girl. So you're not too far from us, Tina. We're only about an hour away from Toledo and, you know, where the Michigan border is. All right, Blue Heron. I ordered the other Heron book, so hopefully we'll get it. Age, huh? Well, we all age very gracefully, UPSC. All right, so we're on back to the book. Dear Junkyard Guy, I'm not going to lie, you're my next to last choice. But these past few days have been rough. So please, can I be your dog? I don't eat much, and I can bark if people try to steal your junkyard stuff. Hopefully yours, Arfie. Dear Mutt, get lost. Not a good time for Arfie. I think he's down to his last person. Dear Last House on Butternut Street. Can I be your dog? I see that your yard is full of weeds and your windows are broken and there's a funny smell. But I'm not picky. Just lonely. Signed, Arfie. Alright, you gotta return to sender. Nobody at this address. From Last House on Butternut Street. Arfie. From Arfie, soggy box in the alley. He's out in the rain. His very last chance has been returned. There's his box. Oop. This isn't, there we go. And he's being rained on. Yeah, poor Arfie. I have a feeling, though, that this is probably going to turn out okay. Uh-oh. No words, but when Arfie wakes up, there's a little letter attached to his box. It says, to Arfie. What could that possibly be? Dear Arfie, can I be your person? I need a friend who will be with me no matter what. Snow, rain, heat, or gloom of night. And I see that you already know everyone on Butternut Street. I know you'll make a first-class partner. With hugs and head scratches, Mitzi Whipple, letter carrier. P.S. If you agree, meet me at the big blue mailbox. Oh, just awful cute. Look at that. Just waiting at the mailbox. Oh, Spiker is in his spot. This is all what it's about. Yes, I know, Tobias. Dear Mitzi, you know what? My tail has been wagging ever since I got your note. My answer is yes! Truly yours, Arfie. P.S. Woof! And then scratch, scratch. Now, how cute is this book? And then there's a little Really cute little thing in the back, and it tells you, here's how you can help a homeless animal. Adopt a shelter animal instead of buying a pet. Volunteer at a shelter or pet adoption event. Spay or neuter your pets so there will be fewer fur babies to find a home for. Donate to your local animal shelter or a national animal advocacy group, such as American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA.org, or I always tell everybody, your local SPCA. SPCAs really do a wonderful job. And as you guys know, Bonnie used to work for the Virginia Beach SPCA. They do a really, really great job. They also recommend the Humane Society, humanesociety.org. Extend a helpful paw so that all of our animal friends can find forever homes. Signed, Arfie. And then here's the town. And then there's Arfie and his new letter carrier. That's a very cute little book, huh? I'll have to look to see if this guy has it anywhere else, because I really thought this was a cute book. All right. Next book we're going to read. Yes, Spin Kitty. And somebody sent us this book, and whoever sent this, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate this. This is called The Church Mice in Action. Look at those bad cats on the cover. You know that they're up to naughtiness. One day, quite late in the summer, the church mice and Samson, the church cat, were taking it easy in the churchyard. They were in a really mellow mood. But then Humphrey, who was a bit of a pessimist, said through a mouthful of blackberry that late summer was almost early winter, as it was the vestry roof was as leaky as ever. The near future looked very wet and shivery. Somehow the mood wasn't quite as mellow after that. So there are the mice and there's the cat. Church mice, church cat. There were two other people in the churchyard. One was the parson, and the other was his sister, who was spending a couple of weeks with him. The parson was telling his sister all about squinch arches and crockets and things, and she was telling him all about her best friend's new hat when suddenly she saw Samson. Samson was dreaming about the lovely times he used to have before he took his vow never to catch mice, when a strange noise woke him up. It sounded something like, "Who's a beautiful putty tat in? Come to Mummy." He opened his eyes and saw an awesome sight. Can you buy this book online? I'm sure you can. It's called The Church Mice in Action. But somebody sent this to me, so I didn't get this book myself. "Roderick, dear, he simply must come and stay at the vicarage," the parson's sister said to the parson. And without more ado, she bore Samson off. And look at the face that the cat has. Oh, that picture, look at that. Just terrified. The next morning, Arthur and Humphrey went across the vicarage just to make sure Samson was all right. And they were pleased to find that he was being looked after very, very well indeed. Wait till you see the pictures of how well he was being looked over. After that, they went back to the churchyard and joined the other mice who were breakfasting on something lovely that had been thrown over the wall during the night. Arthur was on his third chip when his eye fell on an ad. The idea it gave him was so brilliant that he had to swallow 2 more chips very quickly to calm his nerves. Then he informed Humphrey that the vestry roof problem was solved once and for all. So I think, good night, Tina. Thank you for coming in, and we're looking forward to seeing you again. So obviously this book is from probably Great Britain, using a lot of British terms, especially chips for French fries. Humphrey only really liked ideas he thought of himself, so he looked very doubtful and said that Samson couldn't win anything except booby prizes. Arthur said that was true as far as handsomeness and cleverness and trick performingness and well-bredness were concerned, but after what they had seen at the vicarage, he thought Samson would knock spots off all the corners in the well-groomed department. Humphrey just grunted, but he agreed to write the letter to the parson's sister, explaining the plan because he knew the correct way of addressing important people. The parson's sister was a bit put out at being written to by a pack of mice, but the parson made her see reason. He said that if he relied on the charity of his fellow man, the vestry roof wouldn't be mended until the middle of the 23rd century. So why not give the mice a chance? So the letter says, "Dear Miss Madam, we humbly beseech you..." Oh, it's really hard to read. I can't really read it. Sorry. So Samson was entered for the best groomed cat prize. And on the day of the cat show, the mice were there to see him arrive. They hadn't intended to come because of the number of cats present, but Humphrey worked out a plan to make certain that Samson won. And they had to be there to carry it out. Arthur had objected to the plan, using words like unsporting and downright un-British. And Humphrey, who stood up for his plan, saying things like mealy-mouthed hypocrites and namby-pamby do-gooders. Humphrey had won the day. The mayor opened the cat show with a little speech. Hello, Sepp. Hello from Ukraine. It must be very late in Ukraine. 3 in the morning, maybe? He began by saying that since the time of Dick Whittington, mayors and cats had gone together like fish and chips. The only reason why he didn't have a cat himself was because his wife was frightened of getting cat fleas in her fur coats. He ended by patting the first contestant on the head. Or rather, he would have done it if the mice hadn't put their plan into operation. The plan was very simple, though it was called for the most steely-nerved of the mice to carry it out. Hello, HG, or howdy. And the plan's success depended upon Samson doing absolutely nothing. He did it perfectly. So the judge had no choice but to award Samson first prize. The mayor presented the prizes, and he had intended to make another speech, but he didn't, because the only words that came into his head were things like devilish fiends, furries from hell, and ravaging beasts. And he really didn't think that would make him very popular with cat cat-loving voters. Good night, Tina. Thank you for that information. After his success, Samson was entered in other cat shows, and with the aid of the mice, his prizes soon amounted to 10 pounds, a year's supply of cat litter, and 3 dozen boxes of flea powder. Humphrey claimed all the credit. Chaps like me and Attila the Hun, he said, just stick our hands in the world's pocket and take what we want. Arthur said he supposed you could describe swindling fairly honest folk like that. All the other mice just called him a ninny, so he didn't say any more. Next morning, there was an article about Samson in the paper. The mice read it with great interest, and so did other people. Later that day, Samson managed to give the parson's sister the slip. The first thing he did after escaping was get rid of his horrible bow. He was so absorbed in doing this that he didn't notice the danger until it was too late. Next day, a ransom note arrived at the vicarage. The parson's sister, upset as she was glad to see the kidnappers had done it correctly, just like on TV. They did exactly what the note demanded, except that they couldn't find a sack big enough to hold all the cat litter. Blue Heron, I saw Sue P on Facebook. So she's okay. I think she said that she's been lurking. So she is okay. So they did exactly what the note demanded, except that they couldn't find a sack big enough to hold all the cat litter. They did manage to get in all the flea powder, though. They were sad about the 10-pound note, but as they said, Samson's life was worth that. While they were getting the wheelbarrow, Arthur and Humphrey strolled by, and being nosy, they just had to have a peep in the sack. And before they knew where they were, they'd been delivered with the ransom. They just managed to jump out of the sack before the kidnappers arrived. The first thing they noticed when they were safe on the ground was some funny Samson-type noises, which they tracked down while the kidnappers were deciding who should open the sack. Oh, you're welcome, Cat B. Yeah, she says that she just been taking a break from chatting, but she has been on and she's been lurking. Some things the kidnappers weren't very good at, but doing up straps wasn't one of them. The mice were still struggling with it when the kidnappers at last got themselves sorted out and made their getaway. The two men were very angry. They knew Samson had won thousands because they read it in the papers, and they weren't going to let him go for the measly 10 pounds and some second-hand flea powder. The mice didn't know exactly what was going on, but they did know that the 10-pound prize shouldn't be in someone else's pocket. So they removed it. Then Humphrey popped up below where they were going. But before he had time to find his bearings, he lost his footing. Everybody was still for a while, wondering which bit of himself was broken. The 10-pound note was the first to move, followed closely by Arthur and Humphrey. These are very active church mice. The 10-pound note had the advantage in the race. The mice and men were pretty evenly matched. What the kidnappers gained by length of leg, the mice made up by shortness of leg. Humphrey gasped peevishly that it was disgusting what humans would go through just to get their hands on mere money. Arthur, wet, puffed, pricked, and stung, just sniffed as sarcastically, as short as a breath would allow. Then, just when everybody thought the money was within their grasps, their hopes went up in smoke. Absolutely, Blue Heron. Absolutely. For a few moments, everyone's feelings got the better of them. And after that, the mice set off home. They would have forgotten all about Samson if they had come upon the kidnappers again and stopped to listen to them out of curiosity. Most of the noises the men were making weren't exactly words, but the words they did say were about all the nasty things they were going to do to Samson, whom they blamed for all of their troubles. At that, the mice quickened their pace because they knew that if Samson was to get much older, they must reach him first. They did get to Samson first, but the plastic string around the box was too tough for their teeth. They just had time to gnaw holes for his legs in the bottom of the box before the kidnappers arrived. When the kidnappers saw the box containing Samson had vanished, they did three things. Firstly, they remembered all the swear words they had ever known. Secondly, they started to search for the box. And thirdly, they set an unofficial world record tandem speed record over 23 miles because they got into a beehive. Getting home could have been a problem, but luck was with them. Soon, Samson was unpacked and they were bowling along in comfort. Humphrey said, though not in so many words, that now they had taught the kidnappers that crime doesn't pay, they could get back to rigging the cat shows and making themselves a fortune. But Arthur and Samson gave them a look that would have made even a hero's knees knock. So there were no more cat shows. A few days later, the parson's sister went home, and soon after that, the last whiffs of magnolia blossom faded out of Samson's fur, and the mice stopped holding their noses when they came near him. The vestry roof leaked more than ever, but the verger kept the stove going day and night to make up for it. And with bits of the parish magazine stuffed in the cracks around the windows, and a few hassocks along the... Hassocks? I haven't heard the term hassock since I've been a kid. And a few hassocks along the bottom of the drawers to keep out the drafts, the mice could doze cozily around the stove on winter evenings while Humphrey told them for the 100th time about how he had outwitted his kidnappers. And that is the end of the church mice in action. So I'm going to take a couple-minute break and stretch my legs, and we will read Ginormous Joe's Welcoming Arms.
While you're stretching, look for Vernon.
Oh, okay. I did see him at one point. Hey, I found the Verster.
You did?
Yes.
Where was he? I thought I had all.
Yeah.
Got it all down. There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I have my burn detector on. Alright, so.
Bless you.
Oop! I thought I stepped on somebody. Oh, it looks like the Rachel got out. Oh, of course, because there's food. Jackie asked me to make sure he can get out of that hole he was in.
Oh,
No problem.
was he in the space capsule?
He was in that right there.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Hello, Nyota. How's Nyota? How you doing? Hmm? How are you doing? Can I come over? Hi. Da, 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 da. You had a sparkle in your eye that you wanted to chase. All right. I tried. What? You're gonna go home in a little bit too, Sparrow. Yeah.
And puppy corn.
Yes. Hi, Tina. I'm going to try this again before I start reading. Anybody want a whole basket of popcorn? I have an entire basket of popcorn.
Oops. Kitties.
All right, I'm going to put you back.
Wake everybody up. Kitties.
All right. Let me take a sip of the Mountain Dew Zero. All the caffeine, none of the calories. Hello, Wanda. How are you? So our next book is Ginormous Joe's Welcoming Arms. Once upon a time, there was a big white huggable dog named Joe. She lived with two little dogs called Tom and Muttley. They had loved going for walks, cuddling, sleeping, and eating. They had a quiet, comfortable life until their mom brought home a ginger kitten. Yes, Tina, I heard. Like, is it Sparrow and Popcorn? Yeah, I think so.
Being adopted together?
Yeah.
Yes.
They had a quiet, comfortable life until their mom brought home a ginger kitten. He was called Vinny. Oh, Vinny was very small and very curious. He was always getting up to mischief. He needed someone to look after him. However, Vinny was different, and the little dogs were wary of him. Look at the eyes of this little ginger kitty. You can tell that there's naughtiness in those eyes. One day, Joe and Tom were in the garden, talking about the new addition to their home. "He's so annoying," said Tom, not at all happy with having to share his home and Mom with another animal. "He's always following me around and taking my toys. The other day I found my favorite ball in his litter tray. and my cuddly toy in the washing machine. I had to wait for ages for the wash cycle to finish to get it back. Be kind, Tom. What are you meowing at? I hear you. Be kind, Tom, said Joe, shaking her head. Why? He's a nuisance. He keeps walking around the window ledge and knocking over Mommy's ornaments. He knocks over her pot plants and gets mud all over the floor. He eats my food. He scratches me when he tries to play with me. I am fed up with him, huffed Tom. He doesn't mean to scratch you. He is getting used to his claws. He wants to play. When someone is new in a home or a school, they are very scared and lonely. Everything is strange to them. You should put yourself in his shoes and think about what it feels like to be different in a new place. You should be the bigger person and be kind to him. Look after him and teach him all you know. Teach him to be safe. Why me? Why not you? Exclaimed Tom. He never looked after anyone else before. He'd only looked after himself. It seemed like hard work. Joe took a deep breath to steady herself. Because he is so small and I am so big, he might get under my feet and I might accidentally squash him. I'll look after him when he is older. I'm looking forward to having lots of fun with him. When he grows into a big, strong, clever cat, I'll teach him everything I know. But until then, you need to take my place and be his protector.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Why should I do that? Asked Tom, not happy with having the job. Because that's what family and friends are for. We look after each other. Hello, Sandra. But he is a tiny ginger cat and I am a dog. We are very different and he is not my family. It doesn't matter what color, age, or breed he is, or where he's from. Clever animals know that family doesn't just mean having the same parents. Family means looking after everyone that comes into your life, even if they only stay for a short while. If you are kind to each other, you'll become good friends. It is a nice feeling to be loved. But I don't know what cats like doing or how they think. They are very different to dogs. We won't get on. Well, that's where you're wrong, Tom. If you give it a chance, you might become the greatest friends ever. We're all different from each other. We all have our own special ways. But we are all the same inside, whatever color, breed, or place we are from. We all need a warm bed, a roof over our heads, food, drink, cuddles, and love. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Popcorn is awake. And there is a little cat in trying to go with Popcorn, and I have a feeling that they are going to start wrestling. Tom looked at her. He wasn't convinced. Besides, Joe said, a special friend is precious, even when they are different than you. Why? Asked Tom, tilting his head, trying to work it out. Hi, Popcorn. You're still in your bed. You get to learn new things from each other, things that you would never have learned on your own. You learn new food tastes, new games to play, new ways of thinking about things, new languages, and new jokes. The giggles will come free. And they both laughed together. Joe winked. And you are never lonely. Oh, that sounds nice, said Tom, smiling back. He was starting to think differently. Joe continued. No one else in the world has the same mix of personalities in their home. Ours is a special place, a one-off. You should feel pleased. Are you watching me, Poppy Corny? Popcorn is awake, but still in the basket, just taking in the world, just looking around. But her eyes are still very heavy. Hello, HG. Tom thought for a minute. Maybe he could look after a kitten. You could be his bodyguard, said Joe, like his guardian angel. You could make sure he is safe, that he doesn't fall down holes or off furniture, that he eats only the good things and not the bad, that he stays in the house and does not run out into the street. Teach him all the simple things in life that he will need to know to grow big, strong, and clever. A guardian angel, whispered Tom in awe. He liked the sound of that. It made him feel important. Yes, agreed Joe. And when Vinny is older, he could become someone else's angel and protect them all. We all look after each other. We work as a team. Just to let you guys know, Popcorn is now back to sleeping. Popcorn has said that it is a no-bones day. Did someone look after you, Joe? Asked Tom, not being able to imagine Joe ever being small or ever needing someone else's help. She knew everything. She was so clever. Yes, we all had someone look after us. That's how we survived. You had Muttley looking after you when you were little, and I looked after Muttley when he was little. Another dog looked after me when I was little. Now it's your turn to be the grown-up. Are you ready? Well, I guess he does make that funny purring sound I like. And he does make me smile with all the funny things he does. Tom's starting to look at the situation differently. Maybe it wasn't so bad after all. But I don't know everything yet. What if I get it wrong? Just do your best. Always be kind. And if you don't know something, ask me or Muttley. We will help. Tom suddenly felt very important. He was going to look after another life. He was not going to think just about me anymore. He was going to think about we. It made him feel proud. Oh, you got that, Wendy? Yes. It is a no bones day, and every Saturday for me is a no bones day. Gosh, I feel very grown up, Joe, he said. I feel important. Oh, nice. Ball State University Pride Jackets. Hi, Derecho. Derecho. Oh, whoop. Derecho just fell down. Tom rushed off into the house in search of the little kitten. He stayed at Vinny's side like a shadow. He put an arm out whenever Vinny was about to fall over. He shared his toys with him. He told him everything he knew about stuff. Vinny was very pleased to have a friend. The two became an inseparable team. Tom had never felt so happy. They went everywhere together. Look at this cute little picture. The doggy and the kitty. A week later, Joe asked him how his guardian angel work was going. Tom smiled. I never knew that taking care of someone could be so much fun. I'm very proud to have Vinny as part of my family. I've had so much fun with him, and I have learned a lot. Being different is cool. We teach each other new things. When he has grown up big and strong, he will stand by me and be my friend. Family and friends are special. Thank you, Joe. Looking after someone is the best job ever. Just to let you know, Popcorn is very concerned about the noises that are happening on the door. He's got the ears going and everything. Meanwhile, another kitten has now decided to come up and join Popcorn. I don't know if they're going to wrestle or not. Joe was very pleased for Tom. He'd grown in confidence since taking on the angel job. Joe didn't like to tell Tom that it was just as well Vinny had become his friend. Vinny was part Maine Coon, which is a breed of cat that grows and grows. After a few years, Vinny would be a very big cat indeed, 2 or 3 times bigger than Tom. It was lucky for Tom that he would have the biggest, cleverest cat in the street looking out for him. Having friends and family is special. There is no one else in the whole wide world who shares the same team as you. It is something to be treasured. And here's another picture. All right, and that's the end. So 2 of the books we had today were from Britain. This says this is the Ginormous series. I wonder if there are other books like that, because that was a very cute book too. So even Spiker is getting in on the action here. He is looking up at the door, wondering what's going on. So that's probably going to be it for today. But before I go, let me bring up Popcorn one more time for you guys. I see you, little one. I see you. See you. Come here. Here we are. Oh, you're welcome, London. You're welcome, everybody. Ow. Ow. Your nails. Your nails. There we go. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, London. Thank you, everybody. More popcorn. Uh-oh. Here we go. How did you get up there? Oh, that's why. Oh, you're welcome, Craig. Popcorn, you gotta look at your fans. Look at your fans. Sandra, you should have seen this little one like a month and a half ago. It was half this size. It is amazing how this little one has grown. Still loves to nibble on fingers, though. Not as bad, though. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Hi, Empower. The eyes are blue, Sandra, but I believe as they get older, they lose those blue eyes. Yes, Craig, he's a Pippi clone. You're welcome, Norma. Look, Yeah. You could look at straight at the camera so that they could see your pretty blue eyes. Look at those pretty blue eyes. It's like, hi, ain't I cute? I'm a cute one. Um, Actually, I'm going to get going. I actually have to get to bed early tonight. I have a doctor's appointment right near Toledo at 8 in the morning. So I got to get out of my house by 7. Thank you, Ms. M. Thank you, Ms. M. Yes, Saturday will be a year that she passed. Hi. Hi there. Hi there, you silly girl. Where's the silly girl? Silly girl. Oh. Yeah. Actually, London, I don't think she is because she had no problem listening to the door. Alrighty, let me pack up my stuff here. Yes, she certainly is precious. All right, everybody. I'll be back next week. No, Tina. I got 6 cats at home. I think 6 is enough. Have a good night, everybody. Yes, she is a cutie patootie.